Hello ladies and gentlemen, back on the channel with another video. Today is going to be a little bit different than the matchday vlogs. We are going to be reacting to the AFC Wimbledon retain list that came out last night. I think most fans found it quite interesting, so let's get right into it. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Comment if you agree with the players that are under contract, offered new contracts, released, etc, etc. And yeah, let's get into the video. So for the players under contract, I'm not going to read them all out because it's pretty much we've kept most of our players from last season. But I'll put a little picture on the screen there. But I think one of the topics most fans put out was that Alex Woodyard is still under contract. But there was a paragraph at the bottom saying there's a lot of players under contract, but there's still negotiations going on if they're going to be sold or kept. So I think there's going to be a massive move in the summer to get probably a good quarter of those players out of the squad and move on, so we can actually rebuild the whole squad, because we need it. To be honest, it's been an awful season and I think we need better players, and we can get, I think, a decent amount of money for some of these players to bring in better quality players for League Two and hopefully push for something better next year. I think one of the topics was about how Alex Woodyard is still under contract, to be honest. This season, I don't think he's been the captain that everyone expected Wimbledon to have. To be honest, he's quite slow in midfield. He makes a lot of mistakes. So I don't think a lot of people were happy about that. We have Zach Robinson on the list. He's been rumoured to go to League One Championship clubs. He's obviously had two spells at Dundee. He came back from loan for one game and then went straight back out to Dundee because obviously fans weren't happy, and seems like we didn't need him, but I feel like we did need him towards the end of the season, because he performed quite well in Scotland and he could have easily performed in League Two if we gave him the opportunity that he deserved, to be honest with you. We also have players which, for example, Ben Mason, Josh Hallard, Marcel Campbell. I think it's all brilliant that we've kept them, because they're youth players developing every single week, every training session. So hopefully, Ethan Sutcliffe as well. Hopefully those players can push towards getting onto the bench, and who knows, starting 11 next year if they push on massively. But I think that's good that they're still under contract and they're not getting released or anything like that. It's definitely good for their development that they're in the players under contract squad. And yeah, hopefully they push on next season, maybe get into the bench just like, or even start on the first day like Jack Curry did and he scored. So you never know what could happen. So yeah, I think that's one of the positives coming out of this list. From the whole list, we'll now move on to players offered new contracts. There's only two, which I'm quite shocked about. A lot of players are on the contract. So first of all, Ethan Chislett. I think he's been a massive boost to this squad this year. The amount of goals, he was literally top goal scorer, and he's not even a striker for most of the season before we had Davison, Ali. His free kicks and set pieces are just unbelievable. I think he creates, he's just footballing ability and knowledge is quite good for League Two, so he's definitely a player that I'd love to see be in the squad next season. Obviously, we also have Aaron Pierre. I think he had a very shaky start to the squad, to be honest. He made a couple of mistakes. Fans didn't like him, but ever since we beat Walsall 2-0, he kept his first clean sheet, and he actually had probably a man of the match performance. I thought Will Nightingale and Pierre were absolutely brilliant that day, and ever since, he's just been a beast at the back. I think he's made a couple more mistakes, but overall, his heading ability is good. His knowledge of the game is good. So I think we will definitely sign centre-backs, and they'll probably take his place in the starting 11, but I think it's definitely a good backup to have on the bench, and if we ever need him because of injuries or something like that, I think he's definitely a good player to get under contract for next season. The players released, these players were pretty much, they did get a little bit of a opportunity in the starting 11 or coming off the bench last season, but they didn't really give a good impact. So we have Dylan Adjihursi, Elliot Bolton, Aaron Cosgrave, Fisher, Frimpong, Jenkins. They pretty much all came in. I'm pretty shocked about Jenkins. I think most Wimbledon fans were shocked about Luke Jenkins being released. He was one of the centre-backs which he scored on his debut against Barrow away from home. So I feel like it's a little bit harsh. I think we would like to have him next season. He's probably not going to start, but he could get onto the bench and come on if we need him. But I have a feeling we are going to sign some decent quality centre-backs for League Two. So in that way, we won't need him. But I think it's a little bit harsh for this. I think most fans were happy about George Marsh being released. I don't think he gave it 110% every single game. I feel like he was just collecting a wage. Apparently, I heard rumours that he was on quite a high wage. So That might be why we've released him. To be honest, he could go and join another League Two club, National League club, and perform quite well. So good luck to him wherever he goes, but he's definitely not needed anywhere near the squad, because I feel like he wasn't giving it his best shot every single game and was just collecting a wage at the end of the day. Now we move on to contract option triggered. We have Isaac Agundere. So we don't really know about what's going to happen yet. Obviously, he might want a little bit more money or change in the contract. I think we should sign him. He's a good backup option. Obviously, Gunter's retiring. Well done to Gunter. I was going to move on to him next. We might as well talk about him now. Chris Gunter has had an incredible career. Probably he didn't really perform that well. In the start of the season, he was quite good for us. But then obviously, Isaac Agundere came in, Billa came in and took his squad. And fans obviously weren't happy about they went to Wales to go and coach. But that's definitely a good step to go after his career. He's probably going to go do that now, coach for Wales, do the under-21s youth academy, something like that. So he's had a great career, second highest capped player for Wales. He was first for many times until Gareth Bale overtook him in the World Cup. So yeah, well done to him. He's had an incredible career. And now we'll move on to the last category, where we have players returning to parent clubs from loans. So we have Jayasemi, Jana, Little, McAteer and Pearson. I feel like Jana and Little didn't really offer that much. To be honest, Jayasemi had a decent impact. I thought he was quite good on the ball. Last game of the season, he actually played quite well, if anyone watched it, against Grimsby. I think the two players that we will miss is Casey McAteer and Pearson. We're never really going to get them back on loan, but I really hope we do. I think everyone loved Casey McAteer's goal against Salford was just incredible, wasn't it? And Sam Pearson, ever since the Harrogate away game, I feel like he's been absolutely brilliant, to be honest. He's kind of like a replacement for Asal. He's totally different to Asal, but like the way he just runs at the ball, runs at defenders, tries and take them on. So I think we're definitely going to miss Casey McAteer and Sam Pearson. But to the 5 players that are on loan, good luck to them in the rest of their careers. So yeah, that's the end of the video of my reaction to the AFC Wimbledon retain list. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel and comment if you agree with my opinion or any other opinions that you had. I'd love to hear them. The next video will be on Friday. It's going to be a decent video. Then we have National League playoff final on Saturday. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and goodbye.